Everything you like. Okay, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever, good wherever you are. It's now just gone 8 o'clock. It's fucking dark outside now. Because winter is coming. And we'll probably get just a black screen at the moment. Yeah, we have. Yep, it's now hooked onto the game. And we are in, as you'd expect, Iceland. So I think we've got sound. Right, our truck wheel driving is good. I'm just going to alter the power settings on this because and change the back tyres because you can see through there. Imagine I think because that's also where the disc brakes would be. So. Right, our truck wheel driving is good. Right, so I'll change the back wheels. I'll keep the gudges at the front there, but I'll change these for the SCS gudges. So we want to lose all these. Go down here, go down here, go down here, go down here. Fuel Max Gen 2, don't need that. And Fuel Max Gen 2. There we are. Okay, that's that done. Okay, and our trailer is let's say 10-meter trailer. Yes, yes, it's a 10-meter trailer. Right, we're in Thorlaxhaven. Yeah, our forklift trailer today has got a forklift on the back, so we can pretty much load and unload wherever we like. We got a forklift. It's all right, no problem. I have. So we're just going to nip down now to M-Skip just around the corner and get loaded up. And this, what you see at the front there, I can't pronounce that. However, I run it through Google Translate because it says, follow your dreams. Now, bear in mind, we do sometimes get some really weird loading points for. Yeah, okay, I'll load up there and roll to the back doors. How the hell are we supposed to load there when the back doors are up against the fence? Come on, SCS. Right, we got Reykjavik, Nuuk, Stavanger, Perth, Rostock, Odessa going down to the Ukraine, or we can go across to Finland. Because Odessa is up there. Oh yeah, okay, it's right on the coast. We go to Moldova. The only thing is, we can't really go there in reality because our truck is actually too big. It's too tall to go through Denmark, Germany and Poland and Romania. So it would actually be too tall legally. But as this is a computer game, we're going to take some food to Odessa, I think. Should be a nice little drive. So we'll probably definitely need the Moffat on the back for this. When we unload at the end, because we want a speedy offload, because we don't want to be bounced on by the Russians. So we now, to back at this onto here, we have to go that way, start off with, and steer that way, and then walk the bogey round. Let's just lift the axle up a bit so we don't screw up so much. Make life a little bit easier for us. Now, just as a bit of a, what's it? The base of this truck, the lower half, is actually Maersk's shade of blue. Although Meridian are not a Maersk, we are not Maersk. But Lincoln are not Maersk either, but I just happen to like Maersk blue. It's a lovely colour. Backing in, backing in, backing in. Now we have got quite a steep hill to climb when we come out of Ray of Yodor, which is just on the other side of the island. So you'll move that trailer out of the way, stick me back in, and look, put the trailer back. And off we go. Now, Mr. Hello, whoever's just come in. Mr. Thinskin was at the United Nations this week. And one of his staff, I mean, he's getting paranoid now. One of his staffers was a videographer and had to run upstairs, up the top of the stairs to catch some video of him coming up the stairs. And as he did so, he brushed past part of the escalator. And the escalator thought that he was trapped. So a safety system kicked in. Apparently that was sabotage. Huh? So the escalator doing what it's meant to do. And apparently the Secretary of Defense has called all of a load of generals around the world to a very important meeting. Something is going on in the United States. But nobody knows what. But whatever happens, it's going to be an interesting situation. And obviously with this development where he's building this ballroom, like, what the fuck's all that about? It's not your fucking house. You only live there, but it's not your house. It belongs to the American people. I mean, if I lived in a rented house, and I pay money to a landlord, decided, you know, I'm gonna knock this part of the house down and rebuild it because I'm a billionaire and therefore I've got the right to do anything. I don't think the landlord would be very, very happy with me. I think he'd probably, he'd probably want me gone. It's like if Keir Starmer were to build an extension on number 10 Downing Street. I think there might be a few things that had to be said there. Thank you, Trevor. Yeah. It's also got some power as well. A few patches ago, I copied the dev files of Eugene Scania and rewrote a couple of the files. It's got 1100 horsepower. It doesn't hang up. This thing does not hang about. However, I'm also running. Why am I deleting the message? Also sounds fruity as well. So heading down now. I think we've got Grindavik to go through. I think. Do we go to Grindavik? No, we don't. Actually, yeah, we do, because Grindavik's around here somewhere. Actually, no. That was Grindavik. We've just been through Grindavik. So our next town is Vik i Myrdal. Which I think I might change the gearbox so it runs a little bit lower revs. Okay, welcome to Vik i Myrdal. Over to my left are some hills, and there's also a church there. And behind those hills, you'll find a Fiatlikok and Katla. Both are subglacial volcanoes. And Katla is particularly dangerous. She normally goes off after Alfie goes off. And she goes off about every 50 years. There was a minor eruption in the late 1990s. Prior to that, I think it was 1912 that she erupted. That was a big eruption. But at the moment, she has been pretty quiet. I'll try that one. Right, let's see how this behaves. Okay, so as I was saying, the church there is actually part of because it's the highest point in the town, and there's a risk of lahars and yokul caps, glacier floods, too thick. The town needs a high point to basically evacuate to, and that's where the church is. Because any major glacial flood coming through here will come through where I am now. Even that hotel there, for example, any houses down this road will have to evacuate to high ground. That's better. Nice low rev cruising. I'm not even turning 1,000 RPM. What? Now, as we move further east across Iceland's volcanic land, we head down out of the Kruksvik volcanic system. We'll be heading down towards Bardabunga and a couple of the other systems. There's about 4 or 5 systems. I don't know the names of them all. But currently the one that is everyone's paying attention to is the one at Reykjanes. Which could burst out at it's primed now for yet another eruption. This will be the 11th, was it the 12th one since 2021? Now, as we head into Europe, we'll be going into start off with. We'll be crossing it into Bergen. Our route will be taking us through Iceland, across to Bergen. Then we'll be going by road through Norway to Oslo. And then we'll be going down towards Poland or maybe Kiel that way. And then we'll pick up this road and then trundle down across Germany, Poland and into Ukraine, drop into Moldova, then back into Ukraine again. As we make our way over towards Odessa. Now, in various airports across Denmark, there have been drones flying around. Believed, although not confirmed, to be potentially Russian in origin. I can't do it. Which would be interesting to say the least. What are the Russians doing? Most likely they are gathering intelligence. Now, intelligence gathering by militaries, particularly the Russians, there's nothing unusual there. Just that in this current heightened situation because of the Ukrainian conflict, everyone's on edge. And it's been fairly normal for Russian reconnaissance aircraft, and particularly as well the Bear Tu-95, to snoop around our northern Scottish waters, around Lossiemouth, Dounreay, that area, to which quite often they will get a visit from typhoons. Prior to that, tornadoes. Prior to that, F4 Phantoms. They've been doing that since basically the Cold War. They want to know exactly what, if they did decide to start probing our defences with malicious intent, they probably want to know what kind of force you're going to be greeted with. Hi, Aria. Yes, I have seen it up and coming. I haven't got it yet. It is on my wish list. And the first thing I want to do is get a mod, Probably one of Z-Mod's engine mods. Put a V8 in the coach. 700 or put a 620 horsepower V8 in a bus. Because you've got to, haven't you? I think this game was originally meant for to be a bus simulator. That's why we've already got bus stations already in the game. Okay. Yeah, I think what it is, Aria, they go through the Steam Workshop from time to time to see what mods are creeping up, and there have been a lot of buses doing the rounds. It's like, aye, this is popular. And then you go to the likes of Scania, MAN, Volvo. Can we have licensed buses in the game? Probably, I mean, weight-wise, you'll probably have something like about 200 to 300 horsepower, I reckon. There ain't many buses with 180 horsepower, unless you like little mini buses. But Scania's V8 can comfortably put out 1125 horsepower. The straight 6 can do nearly 900. See where it's going. I do like the Scania Touring, which I think they've shown on their teasers. Probably get a Neoplan. Well, the Neoplan buses are ugly. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure when they came over there, because obviously Indonesia's it's a little bit distance-wise. It's about 4,000 miles from me. It would take me about 12 hours on a jet to get to you. I would have thought you'd have a lot of Chinese buses, because they're getting quite common over here. Yutongs and Yutong, Dongfang, BYD. BYD are getting quite common over here, and Yutong are the other big Chinese make. We don't see many Dongfangs, but they probably are over here. But in the UK, it's primarily Scania and Volvo. Okay. I know I'm seeing Project Japan's turned up as well again. I mean, my current map is obviously ProMods, UK, Europe, Middle East. I'm waiting for the Great Step to be reappear again, which will be sort of over here, because that's your Caspian Sea there. We've got Iran. Yeah, that's Iraq. That's Iran there. Kazakhstan there. Russia. Ukraine. Ukraine's eventually is going to fill up. Okay. I mean, I would like to see the new Ford's buses come in. I would like to see the likes of Mitsubishi, Isuzu. It's possible. I mean, I would like to see an Australian truck simulator. I mean, if you go over onto TMP, there's quite a large Asian community. You know, a lot of Korean, Indonesian, Chinese area. Yeah, Australian road trains. Gravel roads and 120-ton road trains. Fun! I mean, some of the roads that they have in India. This here will be a 4-lane highway. You know, yes, I watched Deadliest Roads in a few years ago. ILT Deadliest Roads. I mean, where the Indians and the Chinese have built roads, and even for that matter, the South Americans, Colombians, it's like, you're putting the road there? Are you out of your minds? But it works. And that's the strange thing about it. The ingenuity in some of the less well developed parts of the world. Makes you wonder. Yeah, and the ingenuity I have fixing the roads as well. I mean, places like Iceland and the likes, you have the main road that runs around the edge, which is paved. But there's about 30% of the main roads in Iceland which they're not paved. Because there's no point. But then you go, if you want to go really balls out, batshit crazy, Canada every winter, the lakes freeze over. And where some of the viable resources are in Canada, you can only get to them when the everywhere freezes over. So the only time they can resupply these mines is in winter, the back end of winter. So you've got a vehicle that weighs probably about the best part of 60 tons, driving on top of a lake, while driving on top of 2 feet thick of ice, on top of a lake that's like 200 feet deep. No thanks. Yeah, have a look at Ice Road Truckers, the first series. I mean, it's like you see the road physically cracking in front of you, and you can hear it just cracking all the time. It's like, no, thank you. Fuck that shit. You know what? I'll get in front of that fella. That thing with so much power, you just breeze past everybody. That's a big message. That's one way of doing it, I suppose. I mean, the truck I drive at work has 340 brake horsepower. And it's a 26-ton truck when fully loaded. And when you've got about 10 tons on it. Because you can carry about 14 and a half. And it's only driven on axle number 2. Axle number 3 is the lift axle at the back. So it's only a 6x2, like this one. With 10 tons on the back, you know it. Because it don't half bloody struggle. Yeah, could do with about 380 at least. If you're carrying 30 tons of payload, yeah, you've got some weight on there. Okay. I'll have to have a look at this channel. Here we are. Welcome to Rail Fjordur. Now, coming out of town, we have way slip sliding away. Yeah, I can imagine it would be if it was bloody wet. Well, the trouble is with Indonesia as well, is that when it rains, you can, depending on where you are, there's a lot of volcanic mud. It just makes matters even worse. Fuel up here. There's got to be a nasty climb in a minute once we come out of this. That's it. Tank is full. Where we are going now is obviously got to catch the ferry at Seyðisfjörður. This road here has got quite an evil climb out of it. The game mechanics put all the weight in the trailer. So quite often you are with these, you can sometimes be sliding all over the place. So we turn here. We go through a village with a guy in the middle of the pedestrian crossing. He still hasn't crossed the road yet in about 14 years. If we carry on, it takes us around up to Akurey, Blönduós, then to Reykjavik, but we go this way. Right, so I need to raise my drive axle, so I mean second axle. Probably 7. I think I'll tackle this hill in 7th. As you can see there by the rev count, as it's bouncing around. The road is a little bit slippy. Slide, 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 slide. Thank God, nobody coming the other way. Right, welcome to Sadie's Fjordur. Totally probably completely mispronounced that strange Icelandic name. So now we take the ferry to Tórshavn, then we cross over to Bergen, and then we make our way to Oslo. To have support ship coming in. Actually, that's a dredger. Right. I'm going to go on, I'm going to check in the ferry, and then I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to make myself a drink. However, just before I shut the truck down into neutral, okay, and now it is to Tórshavn. That's the first leg. And then the second leg is to Bergen, but we have to just reverse it. Reverse for a bit. There we are. To Bergen. Right, everybody just hang fire for a moment whilst I go for a, get myself a cup of coffee. So we'll leave the truck just idling for a moment. And I'll go over to my music player and we'll set some music off. well, I'm back. So now we have to go to there. So I'll miss out as much as I can. I'll try and miss out there. So we're gonna go to right. It wants us to go to Herschel's. Now there's a big hole in the ground in Herschel's because somebody in Promos forgot to put the land there. Oops. Yeah, as you can see, there's a bit of a but you can. It is a bit funky if you do it. The collision volume is still there. So yeah, we now go to Friedrichshafen. Right. This is the town of Friedrichshafen. Gateway through the Baltic. Also in the news this week is, again in America, a little while ago, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, the President of the United States had a meeting, a summit, call it what you like, red carpet deal anyway, with the President of Russia, whom I've gone the wrong way, I wanted the ferry. Who he says he has a good relationship with. Well, the Russians decided to do something that they've not done for a while and send their aircraft into Alaskan airspace. Uninvited. It is also no secret that Mr. Putin wants Alaska back under Russian control. Now, Alaska used to be part of Russia back in the 1860s. And one of the Tsars of Russia he just had a war, and his country was not doing very good financially. They needed to make up some money quickly, and Alaska was a little bit far away from Moscow to govern effectively. So the Americans brought it. They were ridiculed at the time about this land deal, which, bearing in mind, was less than $1 an acre. Ridiculously low amount. And turned out to be quite wealthy in terms of minerals. Well, the Russians wanted, Vladimir Putin wanted it back. It's unlikely that he will get it back, but then again, who knows? It's very much one of those situations. Right, okay. Yeah, I think that's as far as we're gonna go, so we go to there now. Rostock or there. Right, we are now in Poland. And what I think is going to happen is that these flights will continue. And leverage will be put on the American President of the United States to sell or give back Alaska. Or come up with some kind of negotiated settlement. Wait, will that actually work? I doubt it. But time will tell exactly what the Russians were playing at. But one thing is for certain. If the President of the United States needs a lot of international help, he probably won't get it. Because at the UN summit, with all the world leaders there, he told them their countries are going to hell. Well, somebody told me my country was going to hell and I was the Prime Minister, and then that person came to me, I need help with the Russia. You're on your own, mate. Sorry. Bye-bye. Nope. Well, this is a man who knows about everything about everything. This is a man who's also so thin-skinned he doesn't like being ridiculed. So any comic and comedian that ridicules him, he tries to take him off the air. It didn't work well for Disney when they sacked Jimmy, when he suspended Jimmy Kimmel, now did it? To which, for fuck's sake, don't let him watch Spitting Image. Nobody is safe on Spitting Image. From Prince Andrew to Zara Tindall and anyone else in between. Brian Adams, Zelensky, Putin, Trump, Charles, Keir Starmer, Nigel Farage. You're all in there. And Spitting Image is an old program that goes back years. I used to watch it as a kid. Because when Maggie Thatcher was around, when the Prime Minister, she was ridiculed to hell, as was Neil Kinnock, as was John Major, John Prescott, Johnny Two Jacks, Ronald Reagan, George Bush. They all had it in equal measure. Even the Queen and the Queen Mother. It's all light-hearted humour. Yet apparently Dippy Donald doesn't seem to think so. He wants to make it illegal to take the piss out of him. Good luck. Good luck. Well, you might stop it in your own country, but good luck in foreign countries. Hell, Thailand made a statue of, well, a monument of Mount Rushmore with Putin, Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping and Donald Trump on there. That upset him. Then obviously it's National Friendship Month, so somebody put a statue of Epstein and Trump in there. He didn't like that. And now he's crying that the world's laughing at him. What do you expect? What do you expect? How long are we going to go on this trip? 1,700 kilometers. And the trouble is, because obviously, fuck this red light, get through it. As a young child, he was brought up in an authoritarian household, and that's kind of rubbed off on him. He doesn't know how to deal with people, and these constant temper tantrums are just making him seem like he's weak. Well, that's my take on it. I mean, this meeting that Secretary of Defense has called with all these admirals and generals, they don't know what this meeting's about. Maybe that it's got something to do with the way up the recent airspace incursion by the Russians. Who knows? Might be have the army declare loyalty to the president, not to the country. Really? He's frightened of something. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 4 years there's a military coup. In the last country I'd expect it, the United States. Forced the government shutdown, blaming it on the Dems. Republicans control the House, any shutdowns on them. But if he does have a government shutdown, he'll probably want to try and run things himself. We are truly living in interesting times. And when the Chinese say to you, may you live in interesting times, that's basically saying, good luck, you're going to need it. right now, I think the Americans are going to need as much luck as they can get, as various countries around the world just abandon them. I mean, the idea that he's come up with now for skilled workers, $180,000 fee for an H-1B visa for a skilled worker. Which company is going to pay that? And for businesses companies who've already got skilled workers over in the States. Hello, red light, train crossing. There's an Emirates flight. When this came out, the pilots got to hear about it and put an announcement out. Anybody on a H2 or H1B visa, you may not be able to get back into the country. If you want to leave the plane, bear in mind this is after the doors have closed and you're about to push back. Yeah. I truly understand if you want to get off this plane. Shitload of people got up and went to the exit. They opened up the doors and deplaned them. Corporations sent out emails to their workers. If you're a migrant, if you are on a H1B visa or whatever it was, do not leave the country. Because we cannot guarantee that you'll be able to get back in again. And he wants America to be a leader of technology. Well, right now, all the best computer technology in the world is based over in places like Taiwan, South Korea, India, China, Indonesia, Japan. That neck of the world. America has to buy its chips in, but he doesn't want to, which means workers have got to be, Americans have got to be trained up, and the people who can train these up are the countries that make the chips, and they are decided they ain't gonna send them over here. Now it's gonna put America behind. Which means militarily and industrially, America is going to fall behind, because there will not be the overseas investment that America so desires and needs. Already Canada has cancelled fighter plane contracts for F-35 in favour of the Saab Gripen, and they're going to be making the Gripen in Canada domestically. In response, he's put the president has put a tariff on imported heavy trucks. Well, that's going to affect Detroit Diesel because some of their engines are made in Mexico and Canada. And it's going to get to the point where companies will go, yeah, we're just simply not going to deal with the United States. Corporations are just going, it's not going to sell there. So whoever comes in after this current administration, whichever side of the aisle he walks, or she walks for that matter, whether it's Nikki Haley or Kamala Harris, JD Vance or Tim Walz, they're going to have to do, or even Gavin Newsom for that matter, they're going to have to do a lot of damage mitigation. Damage mitigation which would be very much of a similar nature to what had to be done in the 1920s just after the Great Depression had ended. But let's go last play. The big problem will be America will be bankrupt, and there's also a potential possibility that OPEC will stop trading oil in the US dollar. I mean, it's been predicted by a couple of people that may happen, and then that will flood the world economy with US dollars. As everybody just gets the dollar out of their system. Because they purchase dollars using their own local currency to buy US dollars in which to buy oil. That could mean that the euro, the ruble, pound sterling, the Korean won, or whatever currency that they decide to use, most likely be the euro. to buy oil will suddenly gain in value. Whereas because there's a massive amount of dollars on the market, it's currently something like 100 rubles to the dollar, may actually end up being $100 to the ruble. And the ruble's practically junk currency anyway. And that will be a big problem for the United States. But then you've got the possibility that, because obviously his mental state, I mean, the 25th Amendment might have to be invoked. But right now it's, who knows what's going to happen. He's already built this bloody ballroom, so by the sounds of it, he doesn't want to leave. And the way that the polling is going on, things are polling, the Democrat Party in America are likely to do well in the midterms. Which I think, therefore, the midterms might get cancelled. Hello, Gurphy, how you doing? Now, I was going to go Stone Table, I didn't get up till late. So I'll be going the Stafford show tomorrow, all being well. And if you want to know where we're going, Gurf, we are going to Odessa, Ukraine. You be indoors though, so it doesn't really matter what the weather's doing. But good. Stop it. This one, she's just an attention whore. That's all it is. Ain't you, babe? She likes the attention. Cobby's more of her own thing, but Bergen's really. She's a. You know, possible. Oh. We've got the cat there as well. That one's got no shame. Oh, she does that. Occasionally you'll see her just reach up and just blast it. What was that? Got down now, so you don't need to. That's obviously train related, but what? I think there's going to be a toll booth here. Oh, Airwolf. Full GPS LiDAR radio control helicopter. Take it out. I'd be frightened to fly a full-size model helicopter. Well, I've got one of these little tiny little coaxial ones behind me. mean, I've got in my room. I mean, I've got the battleship Yamato behind me. I've got a cargo ship in front of that. I've got a research vessel behind the Yamato. I've got a cargo ship above my computer. I've got a speedboat above me on top of my wardrobe, along with an aircraft carrier. So yeah, I've got a few radio controlled toys myself. And the Silver Speedboat has been, along with the research ship as well, they've both been on Padarn Lake in Llanberis. The speedboat's been all the way across it. I'll go around the other side of Warsaw, down towards Lublin. What you got? My batteries are over 10 years old. They're probably knackered now. Ouch! Oh, that just... When I was building remotoring the Yamato, I decided to rip the gearbox out of it and put 4 individual motors. Because you had one basically like a 500 can motor driving all 4 propellers through a 1:4 gearbox. And it sounded awful. Ooh. So what I did, I put 4 385 series. Need to bring that to my... Bloody hell. The work required basically a board being added inside. It's glued down, motor mounts added, and the likes. And obviously, I've got to solder the wires onto the motor. Plug soldering in, let it warm up, and I go to pick the soldering up like a. Like a ballpoint pen. Solder iron was on. Youch! Short, sharp chain of swear words. Oh, LiPo 4S. None of my boats use LiPos. The Yamato has a 6-volt alarm battery in it. The Celestia, same type of battery. All the others, Nord Icelandia uses a 5-cell NiCad pack. My Neptune uses 7.2 volt stick pack. Esprit Atlantique, which is me Robin the Jade, that uses parallel wired NiCads. Can we possibly reduce the prop pitch? It's not. Try a smaller. Sounds crazy. Try a slightly smaller propeller, but with the same pitch. Your motor might find it a little bit easier to turn. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that curve. There's Model Boat Club. They meet on the, I think it's the 3rd Wednesday of the month, if I recall. What was the last Wednesday of the month? Or was it a Thursday? I think it's a Thursday actually. It's either a Wednesday or a Thursday. And they meet at the visitor centre at Westport Lake. Potteries Model Boat Club. I used to be a member. I'll say because they meet at Westport. There's no internal combustion at Westport Lake. I can't remember what the subs were actually for Westport Lake. Yeah, they sell there every Sunday in the summer. That's not bad for a year though. Most of it though is for the insurance. Because obviously running as a club, you have to have public liability insurance. That's where most of the money goes. Yeah, I think it's with Foxfield as well. You've got public money coming in, train rides, which helps offset things. I remember standing on the jetty. I just feel this thump on my leg. It's like boat line on my leg. Come out. Water level was a little bit high at this point, and it just hits the bloody the wooden sleeper on the jetty and launched itself. I mean, I was a member back in 2006. Well, the concrete jetties have gone now. Fucking hell. Well, it seems to have like a concrete pad that you used to stand on. So I wonder why they removed them then. I'll have to go up there then. I'll have to go up there and have a mosey. Ah, that'll be why. Been there a long time though. They were put in the 80s or 90s, I think, the jetties were. I don't think my batteries will now take a charge. I ain't fucking stopping. I'm on a roll. Those jetties though, they really were useful. But sometimes they'd be on... Okay. Well, once I've done this run down to Odessa, that's gotta be it, I think, for tonight. Got 1,000 kilometers to go, so we've got about another hour or so, I reckon. However, nice time for, I think, for a screenshot. Let's make it daylight. Now I think we skirt the edge of actually, yeah. We go into Ukraine. But then we go down towards Lviv, back into Moldova, and back into Ukraine again. We've got a couple of border crossings to go through. However, we have got a shell, and we have a McDonald's in front of us. It's right next to a rest area, I think, a service area. There's McDonald's. And here's the service area, so we'll quickly dive in here. My camera's facing the wrong way. I'll go downstairs and get myself another coffee. I just noticed there's no license plate on my trailer. Because it's buried away back here somewhere. Yeah. My truck is now kinda sorta legal-ish in a roundabout way. I forgot to put the other thing I was going to add were the satellites on the trailer. Gonna change the side lights over. I believe it were those there. There was those. Right, that's that done. Now we have to get out of here. It's not sharp enough to turn around. Right, I can get around there and back into that little gap there. I think I've overshot me marker point there. Too much. And I've started to tie the old girl in a knot. What? I bet there's a bloody collision wall there. Yeah, there is. So I can forget that idea. I'm going to speed round in that little box and like, huh? No. pull into here as I go downstairs to make myself another drink. And because I'm about to cross into Ukraine, I'll need to ensure that I have my papers ready. Right, back in a minute. I'm back with me coffee. Right, situation report is looking good actually. Papers in order. Next up, Ukrainian border. Watch out for Russian fighter jets. Yes, please. Right, let's get some fuel. Let's fuel up whilst we're here. Right, welcome to Ukraine. A country which 3 years ago was invaded by its northern neighbour, Russia. And his plan was to go from the border to Kyiv in 3 days. Clear out the Ukrainian government, install a puppet government, and fuck off. They still haven't got to Kyiv. In fact, they've pretty much given up now and decided that fuck this, we'll stop just pummeling everything. Night after night, drone after drone, in a hope to break the Ukrainian spirit. It would appear that the Ukrainian spirit is stronger than the Russian vodka. It ain't breaking. In fact, the more they try, the more it brings Ukrainians together. Just like our silly man with a silly moustache found out with Great Britain in 1940. You start bombing a country, they tend to band together. America's going to find out as well with Venezuela. South America sooner or later. She's looking at something. I don't know what she's looking at. So we're now going to cross western Ukraine as we make our way over to Moldova. We get to Moldova. Border crossing. Through Moldova. Border crossing. Our destination is also Euro goodies. So it's going to distribution warehouses, not going to a port or anything like that in Odessa. And we've got around about 800, about 500, just over 500 miles to go. About 560 miles. Not quite sure why we need the traffic out here. Something's going on here. Roadworks, I suspect, of some description. Mind you, there's no line in the middle of the road, so they got marked with something. Novovolinsk. I don't recall this being on the map before. Fuck off. God, this road's bumpy. Gal. It's tugging at my fucking steering wheel. Kind of curious now how our pro mods have depicted Odessa. Because in the early days of the war, Odessa was one of the main targets of the conflict. In fact, the Russians besieged it and made quite a mess of it. So I'm kind of curious now as to what they've done with it. We'll see in about 45 minutes time. I think that's also Odessa's where the, well, welcome to Lviv, where the Azov battalion had that big siege where they were in the steelworks. Bit of a naughty move there, but never mind. Oh, we have a thunderstorm. If I want to go straight on, where will it send me? Ah. Up there. We go down here. Yeah. No, not too far to go now. history. That's a nice touch, seeing the roundabout there with the flagpoles on of the main nations that are helping support Ukraine right now. Nice bit of smooth tarmac as well. Much better road than the highways and the Polish highways, I'll give them that. You know, Polish highway, bounce, bounce, bounce. It's about time they redid the UK in base game. Welcome into another Oblast. Ivano-Frankivsk Oblast. Over some river. let's have a look at this where it goes. Okay. We're basically going over towards Frankmist. And then we turn again. What was that sign? Something about the H10 highway. I'll try and work out what that actually says. In a bit. I'll scan it with my phone and see what it comes up with. Well, think it's like a highways agency sign. This highway is maintained by... ... Alex, it's going good. It's going good. I'm driving through Ukraine. That's what I'm in. I'm still driving the latest patch 156. I updated last week. Normally I've been running down a bit until the Pro Mods updates, and then I update. Still got the RGL Scania. Also got, although I'm having to rework some of my profiles. what we're about to be. We're heading down towards Odessa. Oh, right. Okay. Right. First of all, you need the RGL scanner. You need the cast rigid add-on base. Fact, I'll just log to the title screen, and I'll pull my load order up. And that'll help you. Come on. Come here, damn cat. Right, as you can see. Right, okay, so here's what you need. Hello. Right, okay, so we go down here. You'll obviously be Pro Mods, Ferret Collections, and here we are. We have these here. You want that one, RGL Streamline. That's the old one. You don't want that one. Yeah, I've got two. Yours is downstairs. This is Bergen. You then need this one here. And then you need the one for Eugene. So that's the base that contains all the def files. Then you want that one there. So it's those two that you need. It should work. Easy thing to do, Alex, is when the stream finishes, when I get to Odessa, because I think you're still in my Discord, I'll do a video call with you on Discord. Okay. Yeah, you need all, even for the Eugene one, you still need that because the rigid add-on files are in there. You still need it for that. And if I wanted to add the MAN, I would still need these two. Yeah, because everything you need is in the RGL. Think of it as like a building, a skyscraper. Everything you need is in, support-wise, is in the foundations. Yeah, you want the base, the RGL on there, and then the Volvo. But you want the Volvo goes on top. Not a lot. Although there's a big hole in Hirschals. A big hole in Hirschals. Right where you come in when you spawn in at the ferry. You know, like where the flagpoles are on your right hand side? all that area of land is it's just not there. It's just a big hole. You can drive across it because the collision volume's still there, but there's no land there. It kind of looks weird. Odessa's been added. There's a few other odds and bits and bobs that have been added. It's just bug fixes and fixing some things and wrecking other parts. Yeah, it's and also there's some land prefab missing at Stavanger as well. There's some new work going on in Iceland, just outside Reykjavik, where they put some new roads in. Okay, yeah, all right. I've yet to put Canada on. I want to though, so I will do that later on as well. I'll add promo to Canada. Right. Okay. This is Park P remote. Right. Here shows. Yep. Ferry over there. Main road. Boom, 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 boom. There's the beach. Yeah, I think there should be something there. Oh, nice. I mean, promos are aware of it because I have actually reported that to them as a bug. So it'll get fixed probably at the next update. What have they added in Ukraine? Basically, I think it's just Odessa. Because that's been there. Sarny, Lutsk, Varash. I think that might be new. It's been a while since I've actually been down this part of the world. Let's just have a quick gander at the ProMods blog. ProMods changelog. What's new? Concerns. Yeah. Well, here we are. Right, that's not the where I need to go. Gameplay issues. Alright. Ah, okay. Here's what we've got. A13, toll changes, Serbia bypass, Spain. Looks like they've added, what's it in for a while? It's been in a bit. So it looks like they updated Ukraine a while ago. Nah, it just looks like Odessa. Which is where we're actually heading. Over with Iceland. This is new. But you can't go up there at the moment because all the land's in the way. They haven't finished this area. Gibraltar. That's it there. There's a dealership in there. What I'll do, because we're not that far off actually finishing this run. We've only got about 500 kilometers to go. Come on then, Bergen. Yes, Alex. I did name Bergen after the city of Bergen. Corby is named after a volcanic cone. Because in the Fagradalsfjall eruption in 2022, the landowner called the where the eruption burst out of the ground, called the cone Corby. That's what got his name. I'm not calling me cat Fagradalsfjall. Bit of a mouthful. Faggy. It's like, not that it should come anyway. Way! happened there? I think the back wheels got lifted off the ground with the bumps because the truck is being pushed from behind because there's no weight in the box. It just pushed me straight off the road. Well, we've now we're about to leave Ukraine and enter the country of Moldova. I'll also pull up here because I want to pee. Yes, hang on for a bit. Let me finish off the run first, Alex, and I'll chat. We haven't actually got that long to go. At 400 kilometres, that's not very far at all. And the way I hammer down fucking progress. And here we are. Welcome to Moldova. Russian Republic that wants to join the European Union, and Vladimir Putin don't want that to happen. I think we have to have towards Transnistria actually, this route. We'll see how we go. Not doing too bad actually, journey time wise. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be probably close to 3.5 hours. Maybe nearly 4. You said it, not me. Yeah, we've got one more border crossing to go. Yeah, the spec I'm running with this is the 3900 body. So it's the shortest of the chassis. And I've also got as well his Buzzbig. Trailer shot as well. That's a nice trailer set. It's actually better than the Ikari in some respects. Although I've got the Ikari wheels. I would like him to do a rigid add-on for the T680. I mean, this has actually got nicer looking side boxes than the Ikari. Nicer back frame as well, where the Moffat sits on. bury the throttle. Okay. That broadside reminds me so much of Warburers. Not long now. 211 kilometres. I think it's Odessa. I think pretty much next to the Moldovan border, so. I've heard of it, not used it. Well, I'm thinking about putting Project Japan back on. I think it's been re-released. Drop us a link to where to get it from in the Discord if you can, please, Alex. Maybe being overtaken by Moldovan Rosa. Be interesting with something like this. I was thinking with Japan, the roads are very, very narrow. That's part of the beauty of it. So you probably need a short drawbar outfit, I reckon, to deal with Japan. One-to-one scale. Fucking hell. Yeah, pull a couple of screenshots shots up on the Discord. Well, that's come down quick. So, in a minute, we'll be exploring Odessa. Yeah, give us a few minutes while we get to, because it's only 50 miles away. In fact, it's not even that now. It's literally, by the looks of it, it's like we got, I would say, 60 kilometers, 40 miles. It's just literally just over the border. Ladder. Back into Ukraine. Well, we're almost there. This is it. This is just on the outskirts of Odessa. Lots and lots of Soviet era buildings. A typical Eastern Orthodox church. Lots of bumpy roads. Something to do about a festival. Typical Soviet era thing at the front of the city. Lots and lots of Soviet era buildings. Pile of rubble. Looks like the Russians have been there. Typical generic Euro ETS prefab there. Railway line. It's certainly got that Eastern European feel about it, I'll grant you that. Right, I'll need to lift up my trailer axle. Into neutral, into reverse. Lock it round, and in we go. And I totally missed that, don't I? Oh, that'll do. Welcome to Odessa. And that has taken us 2,635 kilometers. And that is that, level 50. Okay. Right then, we can leave it there for now. I will see you in the Discord in a minute, Alex. Thank you, everybody, for following along. This now does end the stream. Bye.